So in this episode of Growing the Seed, I wanted to take a minute to discuss downloads and audience growth, just briefly. First off, there's a multitude of different hosting services that you can use in the podcast arena. The one that I choose to use is one that was recommended by a bunch of people when I got started podcasting here about 2.5 years ago. And so because of that fact, I've gone with them and stuck with them. It's a company called Libsyn, Libsyn. And so just so you understand the process, what Libsyn is it's a place where you go and you upload the audio for your episode, and then you have that linked iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, any of these different sources. Right now we're just on iTunes, by the way, but once I get some help here over the Christmas holidays, with my kids back from break, I'm going to have them take some time to get us hooked up on Stitcher and SoundCloud and as many of these others as we can. So there's more opportunity for people to find the show and to start listening instead of just, purely iTunes listeners or people going to the sowingseed.net website to listen. So that's in the works. But anyway, Libsyn is the host company. So we upload the audio file, its final format that's been edited. My buddy Scott Hooper, who does all the intros and outros, does any commercials, that type of thing, and his son Chris do the editing of the audio. I just produce the initial audio file. And of course, Scott and I meet on a weekly basis to discuss the direction of things, adjustments, changes, all that kind of thing. And then he and Chris take care of the editing. We use Dropbox to send those files back and forth between ourselves. And then right now I'm uploading them all onto the sowingseed.net website, and that begins the publication process. But anyway, I just want to show you Libsyn real quick and show you what our downloads have looked like here in the first 5 weeks. So many people have a desire to start a podcast, and it's a cool thing to do. I love it. I feel like I'm really in my lane, and I feel like I'm doing something that I've been called to do. And so I really, really enjoy it. But this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And just because you start talking and it's made available to the world online does not mean people just immediately show up. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. And really, the work I'm doing now will truly start to see the numbers, that will help me support, writing and publishing a book, eventually doing some public speaking and that type of thing, probably 2 to 3 years down the road, with me doing, 2 or 3 episodes a week, every week, between now and then. Now, frequency is completely up to you. I have several shows I do once a week, but this one, they're shorter episodes. I got a lot on my mind. The last 7 years we've been living here at EIEIO out in the country. We've had a lot of experiences, a lot of stories, et cetera, that can be told. So I got a lot of content that I want to get out. So right now we're at 2 to 3 episodes a week, and I anticipate staying there at a minimum for the foreseeable future. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick screen share here right now and show you guys the Libsyn page. Once again, on iTunes, you guys aren't going to be able to see this, but if you go over to the YouTube channel, YouTube is probably the best place to be for these Growing the Seed episodes, because most of them will be on video. And because I'm trying to teach a little bit about this process and not just talk about it, you'll actually be able to see on YouTube what I'm talking about. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sowing Seed Podcast, and that way you'll get notifications each week or every time these episodes are published. One other thing that we'll be doing here over the holidays, just so you guys are aware, the thumbnails on a YouTube channel are very, very important, meaning that initial image that you see on the front of every video, it's kind of like the packaging. Excuse me, it's the wrapping of that video. Well, my daughter, Sarah, who is an art and graphic design major at Liberty University, is going to develop a bunch of thumbnails for me for Sowing Seed here over the holidays after she's done with finals and all that. And the goal, one of the goals over the holidays is to get the YouTube channel looking the way I'd like it to look, to have all of the shows be much more professionally done as far as the thumbnails. You can see that all the video is just unedited. I'm not a video editor. I don't know anything about editing video. At some point in time, we'll hire somebody to help with that. But in the meantime, it's just me doing the recordings on the computer here using the app Zoom, ZOOM.us. It is an app that is used for video conferencing. It's what I use with my franchise team all over the country to do video chats, webinars, all that type of stuff. But another feature that Zoom offers is the ability to record video on your computer. And so Zoom is what I'm using right now. I've got another service called ScreenFlow that could be used as well. But Zoom is just a lot easier, more user-friendly. It's got a basic interface that I like, and it's also free for most people. I have a paid version. I think it's $15 a month, but that's because I do webinars and stuff all the time with our team. I don't want to be limited to 40 minutes at a time using the service, and I don't want to be limited to the number of people that can be on at any one time. So anyway, if you're looking to do something like this, or to be able to do some more communicating with people at a distance, do meetings, from afar instead of sitting face to face with someone or whatever, Zoom is an amazing tool that I would highly recommend. It can be used on your smartphone or on your computer with a webcam. So here's Libsyn, and you can see in October, we launched, I think, the 27th of October. So with 4 days left in the month, we had 16 downloads for the month of October. That was probably, to be honest, primarily me and my mom. So anyway, the month of November, though, we had the entire month. You can see 135 downloads occurred in the month of November. And already in December, today's December 3rd, we have 23 downloads. So we are definitely trending in the positive direction. Now, it will also show by episode. So Growing the Seed, the first episode that came out this last week, or actually yesterday, 2 days ago, it's December 1st, has already had 14 downloads. That matches, let's see, episode 14 with 14 downloads. If I go here to a wider expanded list, the episode so far that's gotten the most downloads is the Planting Fruit Trees episode that we launched here. I think it was within the first couple of days in October or early November. So anyway, there's a lot of data here, and then it also shows here an overall graph thus far. And it shows, because we had a huge spike the first day, it shows a little bit of decrease in the line graph here, but that's not going to be long before that continues to head northward, because I'm releasing more episodes every week, and because I'm doing a lot of work on Instagram, on Facebook, and just, being willing to go out and share anywhere I go what I'm doing and asking people to check it out. Of course, once we add some other services, some of the Android podcast services, et cetera, and not just iTunes, that will make a big difference also in the amount of people that can listen. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little bit more background on that. Let's go back to Libsyn real quick. If you want to add an episode, there's an entire process you go through. So first off, you add your media file here. And that's the audio file that you're going to add. You go through here and you add your title, your description, that type of thing. Is it a clean or an explicit episode? All those types of things. You add the artwork for the episode, and then you can schedule it here. And so, it took me a little while to figure some of this stuff out, but it's not rocket science. And after you guys get a chance to look at it, it'll make a lot more sense. I just realized I wasn't screen sharing at the time there. So let's go back and do that real quick. So here we are on Libsyn. If we wanted to add a new episode, we would just click this button here, and we add the media file here, which is the audio file of the show in its final form, the details, the title, description, all that kind of thing. And then the artwork for the episode, schedule it as far as when you want it actually published, and then hit publish. And and then Libsyn does its thing. So anyway, hope that helps, guys. Just once again, a little bit of insider baseball. If you got any questions, you could shoot me an email at sowingseedpodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to try to answer some of them. And as we go, as your questions come in, I would love to be able to, have further discussions about some of those questions, whether it relates to business and financial freedom through business, family, faith, farming, you name it. I don't have all the answers, but we've done a lot of stuff over the last decade or so, and excited to share and help you along in your journey by sowing some seed in your life, like so many around me have sown in my life over the years I've been on this planet. So anyway, have a great rest of the week, and God bless you.